opportunity to talk to us about Mark. A humiliating result.
I don't know if it's humiliating, Pete, but I understand it's disappointing. They've got some good players. It was their day today. They've done a decent job on us. First half, we were too many of us not doing as well as we should have done, and that was the downfall of our game today. Second half, we threw everything at them. We had chance after chance after chance. We were always going to leave ourselves a little bit open at the end of it, which we did. But sometimes it's massively disappointing. We wanted to come here and put in a good performance and a good win today, but unfortunately we've fallen victim to that FA Cup thing that where teams from a lower league can beat anybody.
Did you think you could have had a penalty in the last minute?
I've just seen it. It's a definite penalty. But listen, credit to Tamworth. They've probably earned that little bit of luck at the end. But yeah, I've just seen it was a stonewall penalty.
How do you account for the first half? Because you were much better second half. But
yeah,
first half you were a bit bullied, weren't you?
I thought my two centre halves were bullied. I thought my front two were not involved in the game. And we told them about we warned about them, showed them set pieces about how big and strong they are and how awkward they can make it for you. And one average ball into our box and we've conceded a goal that we should never have conceded. But disappointing. That was massively disappointing.
You made changes at the start, and one of those was a decision to put CBD at right back. What was the thinking behind that?
He can play both sides, Craig. He gives you energy, and I just felt it was the right thing to do without David Noble in the team. We wanted to try and get three strikers on the pitch. So we've learned something for sure, but I've got a squad of players that I'm more than happy to pick from. And today we let ourselves down in the first half in particular.
And then half-time you made a decision to change it. What was the thinking behind Russ Penn being the man you pulled off?
It could have been a couple, but I just felt we needed Craig on the left. I think we needed Stevie's experience and to be able to do with their two centre forwards better than we had. It just meant we just rejigged it a little bit and tried to get Sammy in more advanced positions. I thought we got into we had 7 or 8 really good chances where we've not pulled the trigger or we've not had the desire that the ball finishes in the back of the net. We've got in some great positions. Cooper's pulled a couple of saves off, but we've not been ruthless enough, and it is massively disappointing.
And the fans, you can imagine tonight, pretty unhappy. You can understand.
Yeah, I am. We came here to get through to the next round. We came here to work harder than them, to be as competitive as them, and the competitive side of it we didn't stand up to in the first half, and we then gave them something to hang on to, something to keep hold of, and we chucked everything at them. But we didn't have enough today and to get that equaliser and go on and win it. In the first minute of the second half, we get a corner, the ball's bounced on the line from the keeper's hands, and someone had a chance just to stick their head through it from a yard. Might have got a kick in the face, but that's what it's about sometimes. Getting a boot in the face, but ball's in the back of the net, it's game on again. And we've got to look at ourselves and ask if we had enough desire out there today.
And that must be massively disappointing.
That's massively, yeah. We plug one leak. We've just been talking to staff in there. We get one thing, we sort one thing out, and something else happens at the minute with this group. So, listen, it's back to work on the training ground on Monday to go again. It's massively disappointing. I understand that for the chairman, for the fans, for everybody connected with the football club. My staff, more than anybody else, are massively disappointed, and my players are too. So, we have to pick ourselves up. We will do, but we need a long, hard look at ourselves now.
Does it leave you questioning yourself, Mark?
No, not at all. Are you questioning me, Pete?
I'm asking. You're my manager. You're questioning the players' desire. I'm asking.
I thought the desire in the first half wasn't as good as theirs, and that's why they scored and we conceded. I have no doubt whatsoever about my ability, and I don't think that's in question.
So Monday, back on the training ground and lift the players?
Without a shadow of a doubt, we have to. But you know, we're not kidding ourselves that we're in a good place right now. But there's not a great deal wrong. But we've got to just tweak one or two things, work on one or two things, and just instill just a little bit more desire when it matters. You can't give it players, but you can demand more and more of them.
And you mentioned, you said with this group of players, it's sort of one thing and then it's another thing. What can you do about that? Because you're coming out here, you must be frustrated every time coming and talking.
Yeah, of course I am.
Thing.
Of course I am. But you have to persevere, and eventually the penny will drop with the ones, and we'll get the right. We'll pick the right team. I felt like I picked my best team today, but we've come up short, which is obviously massively disappointing. But you know, we've got to go again next week.
Mark, thanks so much.
Cheers, Pete.
Mark, you say you're not doubting your ability at all, but is this the most testing time you've had as a manager, do you think?
I think the season I came here was the most testing. When we hadn't got good players at the club, we hadn't got anything. We're 9 points off. Yeah, of course it is, John, but none more so than from me. You know, the supporters saw the effort they put in first half, but like me, must have been pulling their hair out why it didn't happen first half. We'd told them before the game that they said themselves, the players, they don't want to be on the end of an upset, and we did everything with preparation to make sure that was going to be the case. And like I said, unfortunately, when it crossed the line at the start at 3 o'clock, we can't be out there making the decisions for them. We got bullied in a couple of areas and conceded, you know, a poor goal.
Yeah, easy to criticise after a game, but what do you think you've learned from the first half? You know, what was particularly disappointed with about that first half performance? Just
the way their two centre forwards were able to just dominate us. The movement of my front three. It wasn't good enough at both ends of the pitches, and that's why we went in 1-0 down. We were a hell of a lot better second half. We had that desire that we needed, but not quite enough to ram the ball home in certain situations. You know, Jamie's had two great chances as well. You know, I know they broke on us a couple of times right at the end, but we could easily be talking about something different. Don't get me wrong, I'm not stupid enough to think. You know, the harsh reality. You know, we've had a couple of really good chances today that we could easily, you know, have got back level and gone on to win the game. We haven't. That's football. That's life. And I say, we have to pick ourselves up and go again next week. Yeah, the last 2 years have obviously been great times in the FA Cup, but you've not really been able to kick on. It's almost like the season's peaked with the FA Cup third round, isn't it? Well, that certainly can't be happening this year,
so
John.
It's going to be different.
We're doing everything the opposite way around this year. You know, we didn't get through to the Carling Cup next round, and we've done that. We've always made good starts. The last couple of years we haven't done that this year. But like I said, we're 9 points off second in the table. And still all to play for. You know, we've had good cup runs and we know how beneficial they can be. We haven't had that this year now, and I'm sure the chairman will be disappointed, like I am, and the board will be. But sometimes just things go against you, and you have to deal with it.
Yeah, you've got Steve Elliott back from injury and after a little rest, and Jermaine McGlashan's not far away. You've got David Noble back next week as well. Do you think you know your best team at the moment? Or how to fit everyone into the best positions?
We'll keep looking, John, and keep finding. You know, in our league form, we're not too bad over the last month and 3 games unbeaten. But we've got to stop talking about it and, you know, put those performances into results and on a regular basis now.
Yeah. Have you thought about doing anything drastic with the squad in terms of getting players out?
I don't know. I might have to do a little bit of wheeling dealing, but we'll just see what comes in the next couple of days.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, Mike. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers.